Hello, good morning. I'm Dr. Anthony Moses. I work in the pediatric department at San Fernando General. I was asked to talk to you a little bit about hypertension. It's one of the lifestyle illnesses that is plaguing, our middle-aged population. It's a topic that's important because a lot of our fathers do suffer from hypertension. So hypertension is a disease of the circulatory system. The circulatory system comprises of the heart and the blood vessels that lead away from the heart. The heart is responsible for taking blood throughout the body. Hypertension is a problem with either the pump or the heart or the vessels that take the blood away from the heart, or a combination of both. So let's think of it in terms of a water system, a pump and PVC lines, hoses, or a series of conduits away from the pump, right? So in hypertension, either you have too much output coming from the pump, or you have something called peripheral resistance, or too much resistance in the pipes, or a combination of both, So the product of the high output and the increased resistance gives you hypertension. It's a complicated bit of things that contribute to why people suffer from hypertension, but to keep matters simple, we wouldn't divulge too much into that, So in terms of hypertension, how do you know if you have hypertension or not? The thing about hypertension is it is silent, right? You have organs being damaged because of the high pressures, and you have no symptoms, right? And that's why it's so important to be aware of it and to check with it and to treat with it early. So it's asymptomatic initially. How do you know how to check for hypertension? So there's something called a sphygmomanometer. You also have automatic pressure measuring devices being sold in pharmacies, etc. So when you go for a regular routine checkup, your doctor will take your pressures, or in visiting the pharmacy, you can there are machines available for you to check your pressures. What is a high pressure? A high pressure would be pressures persistently over 130/80. 130 is the number on top. It's called a systolic pressure, and that happens, or that is read when the heart contracts, and when the heart relaxes, you get the pressure, the number below, which is a diastolic pressure. So 130/80 persistently above that is hypertension. All right. A one-off reading can happen if you're anxious. You go by the doctor and you're anxious, something called white coat syndrome. You can get a one-off reading, but then when you recheck it another time, it's normal. So that's why it's persistent. You have to have multiple readings. It has to be consistently above those values. All right. So now that you've discovered that your pressures are persistently over 130/90, what is your doctor going to do? So the initial management for hypertension would be to adjust your diet and to adjust your lifestyle. All right, that's including high fat and high salt diet. My doctor would advise you to make some adjustments to include fiber, vegetables, and fruits, and to decrease the salt content and the high fat content. In terms of lifestyle adjustments, your doctor would recommend you start a exercise regime. Encourage you against sedentary living. Okay. What is the problem with hypertension? High pressures. I mentioned before, you have organs being damaged. Your eyes are affected in persistent hypertension. Your kidneys are affected. You can end up getting cardiac heart attacks. You can get strokes as a result of hypertension. So it's important to pick it up early and to manage it so that you can prevent these these more concerning events happening to you. All right. So if you made the adjustments to lifestyle and diet and you started exercising and the pressures are still persistently high, your doctor will start you on medications. You may be started on a single medication, you may be started on multiple medications, 2 or more. And the reason for it is some medications act on the pump, some medications act on the vessels. All right. And some medication help to clear some of the increased volume, all right, in the system. So basically, we spoke about hypertension, the cause of causes of hypertension. It's not really known, but there are risk factors that contribute to hypertension. And we know these to be, sedentary lifestyle and the poor diets. Smoking contributes to hypertension. All right, and family history as well can contribute to you being hypertensive. Say you have a strong family history, your parents were hypertensive, it's possible that you can be hypertensive later on. All right. There are other causes of hypertension, and these causes are called what you call secondary hypertension, and that's because of another medical condition that can cause this hypertension. So especially in the younger population, sometimes the hypertension can be caused by another medical condition. So your doctor will talk to you about that as well. All right. So be aware of hypertension. Get your diagnosis early and treat with it early to prevent the sequelae, the later on complications. All right. Yeah, that's basically it. Stay tuned for another topic later on. Thank you for your attention.